We can call it to order. Should we do that? It's 7:04. Let's call this meeting to order. Our first item on the agenda is reviewing the minutes, but we don't have the minutes. They didn't get up our last video onto the Minuteman Media Network yet, so it does make it a little hard. So next time we'll get that one. So moving on to number 2, news about Concord farms and farmers. Everybody made it through the cold snap. I guess we're getting another one, but how's everybody doing?
I wanted to ask, so we got our soil test results, which we always do. We kind of have predictable soil test results in a lot of ways. The farm at 754 Monument Street has extremely high levels of phosphorus, which that's common.
Yeah.
But it's also got a lot of calcium and the pH is good. At Barrett's Mill and Peter Spring and Peterson, we have marginal pH, but really low calcium. So I was wondering, I mean, I've never had to worry about it because the 754 farm has such high pH and high calcium levels. But do you folks get limed from, I mean, I know there used to be places that would come, and I don't know what we can use it as organic, but I'm looking to get some acreage limed and I don't know where to start.
We get,
Yeah.
sorry. We get lime from the guy in Leominster. I think of it, what his name is. He also has an apple farm and raises seeds. Anyway, based on this farm that we're getting the rock line back, he was supposed to do it, and then we had that snow. So I have to get a hold of him, but I could look up his
It might be the same person, but we get it from Jim at Hollis Hill.
Right, Hollis Farm.
Yeah.
Where is that now?
I think it's out in, he comes with a truck to our farm. I just looked it up. It says Fitchburg. Lise usually talks to him. We've gotten more dolomitic lime just because of how powdery the calcitic lime is. And I don't think he has it as often. Lise would know more details, but we've had to put on like if we really need it in a small area, we've done like high cal lime or just like add calcium separately because we've ended up just doing the dolomitic. I think because of how powdery the calcitic was, and it's all those houses right there, and everyone wouldn't like us.
Yeah. How much does it cost?
That is also a question for Lise. She was actually going to call him like tomorrow. I've written the check.
I can look it up.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Mark and have him get back to you too, because we've used a couple of different ones, and some we get truckloads and some we just get pallets and run it through the spreader if we just need a small amount.
Yeah, I mean, we could spread it, but it just seems like the quote I got from like Progressive for pelleted lime was probably in the neighborhood of 8 times more than I thought.
Yeah, it's not $20 anymore.
No, well, no, but I mean, I've seen like, $60 an acre. I don't know, but this was $310 a ton, which seems like a lot.
Yeah, I think we do about 7 tons for about, or I don't know. We do a full load. It's either 5 or 7 tons, and it's around $700.
Yeah.
And his name's Jim LaChance. I should have his number here because it's hard to get a hold of him at 978-337-7879. If you just call Hollis Hill, you get the recording, and it's much better just to call his mobile number. Do you want that again? And you got it.
Got it.
That number again?
978-337-7879.
Okay, thank you. Sorry to take over the meeting. Any other news?
Well, we're still wrestling with the housing situation, and I might have mentioned before, we've secured 2 apartments at the View for the next year. But I think we're gonna go ahead and build on some cropland, and I hate to do it, but that's about the only alternative we have. I was very disappointed in the ruling from the state on APR that if we build it on APR land, that's fine, but the workers can only work on that particular APR. And the one we have that's most suited for it is 11 acres. And we have 6 or 7 APRs, and they couldn't work on the rest of them, just that one, which makes absolutely no sense.
No.
About as much sense as the OSHA, where if the workers were temporary, they can't live here near the animals, but if they work 12 months, it wouldn't be a problem. And now, I might have mentioned before that we couldn't house our farm workers on the other side of my house, so we're housing H2B workers that are working in nursery, and they don't work on a farm, so they can live near farm animals, no problem. Figure it out.
Kind of outrageous. Who's to know which APR they're working on?
Well, you don't want to.
Yeah,
Given how arbitrary they are, you don't want to cross them.
Steve, how many,
I'm done. What? What?
so would you build like a little, like a house, apartments? How would that?
Yeah, but what I'd like to do is build a house that could be used as a duplex if the H2A program disappeared.
Yeah.
And where are you thinking about locating it?
Well, we have land just, half a mile from here, or a little less than that, in Sudbury on 117. And most of the parcels in APR, but we have 3 frontage lots that aren't restricted, and we could use one of those. They're not in APR. But it is good cropland, and I've been trying to avoid having to do that.
Right.
Anybody else got anything fun, exciting? Anybody going on vacation, or is too much
Well, that's
COVID?
another thing. We canceled our vacation also.
Steve, you're bringing.
We'll have a lot of fun. We'll have a lot of fun.
Much COVID. Steve, are any of your workers, like, are you having to deal with quarantining and stuff? Like, do you have a lot of people out?
Yeah, that's been an issue a little bit lately.
Yeah.
We've had a few out on quarantine.
Yeah.
Putting a strain on things. We had to close the deli for a while. We just didn't have enough people to do everything.
Okay. I was kind of thinking, I'm glad we're not open. All right, should we move on? All right. Let's talk about the Ag Committee report for the annual town report, which Melissa so nicely drafted for us.
Beautiful.
Did you guys get a chance to read it all over? And does anybody have any suggestions or anything to add or comments before we submit it?
I'm known for writing with confidence, but actually having the facts be wrong. So please, like is the weather thing right?
So not a reporter,
No.
more of a novelist.
Yes. So we can leave time for people to look at it right now if you want.
I've already said I thought it was very good.
Thanks, Joe.
Do we have two friends of farming right now? Joe.
We have me.
And I think I'm one.
No, you're a farmer.
Yeah, you're a farmer.
Oh, okay.
I think we used to count happy sometimes when we needed to because you had another job, but now you're a full-time farmer.
We're all friends of farming.
Are there enemies of farming?
Yeah.
I think we're supposed to have two enemies of farming. Farming is dumb.
Nobody
Is
has
everyone happy with the weather paragraph that just ended with provided optimal conditions for disease and rot? Nothing
Yes.
more.
Yay. Go for the rot.
That sums it up, though.
Yeah. I know, I've been thinking like, oh, I should say something about that. And then I was like, no.
No. And women socks.
That was it.
All right.
It's good.
That is due like next week, so I'll just make sure it's in the right font and whatnot and send it in. There were a lot of
It's
descriptions.
actually due tomorrow, isn't it?
Was it the 13th? I thought it was the 20th.
No, today's the 13th. I think it's the 14th, right? Maybe not. It's too soon.
I'll double check and I'll send it. Yeah, I'll send it by the deadline.
Great.
I'll send it. I can just send it tomorrow. I just know there were some specifics.
Yeah, there was something about the fonts, and we had a couple pictures, right, from Ag Data.
Oh yeah, we need to send pictures. We
Yeah.
have some good ones on the work computer, I think.
Great. I can send you some. I just have a couple on my phone.
Okay.
I might have already sent them to you, actually.
Yeah, I think that I have them. So yeah, I'll include a picture.
Awesome.
Do we need to vote? I think it's pretty we're unanimous. You did fantastic.
All good.
Very accurate.
All right. So let's move on. The spring forum. Let's see. So where we left off on this one was we had thoughts of talking about pollinators. Steve, you were going to talk to the pollinator committee and see if they had some ideas.
Yes, we had a nice meeting. I don't know what happened to my video here, but
You're frozen.
I'm active as far as I can see, but I seem to be kind of motionless. We had a nice meeting Monday night, and a lot of the talk there was about the new park being proposed along the Assabet in West Concord, where they plan to bring in pollinators and gardens and so on. But I was suggesting that something we could consider in the Ag Committee was growing pollinator plants for sale to Concord residents, farms that do it, and selling seeds for anybody that does that. And also maybe having demonstration pollinator gardens on farms like I think Barrett's Mill does. How did that work out?
It's okay. There's some flowers, not right now, but
Yeah. They grew and brought pollinators
yeah, I think so. There was, I
marginally.
mean, we had difficulty kind of with weeds in there.
Really? The pollinators don't do their own weeding?
No. Yeah,
But I don't know, those are some things to throw out, and also, though we might work it into our spring forum as to what we're doing there, but that's something we can talk about.
Well, we've had this piece at, it's probably almost a quarter of the field at Peter Spring off Bedford Street. That has recently, it's really poor. I mean, it's, you know, it's sandy, and it would be difficult to really bring it up to condition to grow cash crops. But Brian Windmuller and other interested parties have seeded it and planted it to various native and pollinator friendly things. It's pretty impressive, actually. So I think, I mean, that's certainly an example. I mean, we're not worried about losing it because it's not that productive anyway, and it's good PR and so forth. But it's definitely a success story in terms of seeding and planting for pollinator and other habitat. I mean, we used to manage it for turtles, but
Right.
I don't know if the turtles fell out of favor. The bee lobby were potent, and the turtle lobby in town government. Anyway.
Yeah, I think the difference is our area was even more marginal. It was like old, like poison ivy, and not just old stumps, but at like posts. Like it was hard to. It wasn't even close to ag land in any way. So like survival rate and stuff, like I did try to irrigate it a little, but like it was the other extreme from taking field land and planting pollinators. It's like
Was it that section that was close to the road?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty small.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm really small.
This is like a big piece. I mean,
Yeah.
like I suppose if I had farmed it previously, I would be like very resentful,
Right.
you know, having to give it up to pollinators, because I feel like I feed them with the squash and stuff and the sunflowers. But since we've never used it, it doesn't seem like anything. And now we don't even have to deal with it. So we don't have to mow it.
Well, the last few years, we've used quite a bit of buckwheat and mustard as summer cover crops and let them get into full bloom, and might be more interest in doing that and making more of it.
Yeah, I think that's right.
We've done the buckwheat, the beet. Yeah, we grew.
I can't hear you very well.
Yeah, your audio.
Your microphone is not good?
Is this better?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Sorry. We grew a bunch of milkweed plants from seed in the greenhouse as a project for some grade school kids, and they didn't do all that well in the greenhouse. But the next year, the entire area around the greenhouse is just completely covered with milkweed, and there's sort of the stream area, which also is solid milkweed. And we had a ton of the butterflies this last summer there. So
Oh. Success.
Is the pollinator committee interested in maybe doing some spring form event with us?
But possibly, I'm not sure how much you're interested in hands-on things, but we could suggest, and I think planning or suggestions, they might come up with some ideas if we're soliciting them.
Is there a lack of interest because of COVID, or they don't want to?
No, I don't think there is. No.
Okay. Because I can remember Mark and other members of that committee like going out and kind of doing a lot, like putting in the footwork. But maybe they have lost interest. I don't know.
Can I ask, Dan, among your milkweed plants, would it make sense would small milkweed plants, could those be put in pots and sold to people who wanted to help their butterflies? Is that little pot of milkweeds?
Yeah, I have to look and see what I wrote down, but they took a long time to germinate. Unusually a long time, so they did eventually, but that's possible if you got started early enough. I could do a little looking into it. That would be a good idea.
I just imagine people would buy them if they were available. People would buy them. That's what I think.
Are they quite deep rooted as far as potting goes?
I think they are. I think they're pretty difficult to produce in a greenhouse from seed.
Oh.
I mean, you can buy pre-started ones. I'm not quite sure. I mean, I also love butterfly weed, which is a milkweed relative that's bright orange, and they're and you can sell those all day long, but they're not that easy to propagate. And
Yeah, we did a lot of butterfly bushes last year.
Yeah,
That we bought and potted and started in the greenhouse, and we just a couple of them we had potted in big pots, and we're starting to try a few cuttings off them now and see how that goes.
So I think there's definitely a market. It's just a matter of who is going to take ownership of the spring forum, and whether it's going to be a pollinator committee enterprise, or collaboration, or mostly us.
Well, it could be us, or if we requested collaboration more, I think we probably could get it. I don't know to what extent in terms of manpower.
Yeah, I think for the spring form, I think we've always said like it depends on COVID a little bit, but if we're aiming for end of April outdoors, we're probably looking at a better situation than now.
Right.
I think it's more finding speakers has maybe been a little challenging. Like I know Melissa looked and tried to sort of find who was out there and try to like scope out some different people.
I didn't do as much looking as I should have. I mean, what I looked at was Delia's presentation, and it seems like it was her and maybe someone that worked with her that did that presentation.
Okay, I think there's a new position at UMass Extension oriented toward pollinators, and I'll pursue that a little more and find out.
Okay.
That could be a source, but again, I don't know what sort of a forum, whether we get that in person or Zoom.
What if we went as far as New England Nursery or Mahoney's?
No harm in asking.
To see if they would present, or if they would.
Yeah, they could present, they could talk about what's available, what they will carry, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Does anybody know them?
I'm sorry, what?
Does anybody know them personally?
I know Ken.
Who?
Yeah.
Ken Brown.
Do you want to talk to him, Grace?
Sure.
Thanks.
what do you want me to ask? What am I?
Well, just if you have any interest in participating in any kind of way, really, if we did a spring farm event that focused on pollinators, I think, like,
Okay.
or do they have, does he want to do it? Do they have anybody, you know?
Okay,
I
sure.
mean, if we're just sort of looking for speakers of people, or like putting together some collection of people who might be willing to talk.
Okay, sure.
I don't know.
All right.
Just scope them out.
I don't know, as far as the public meeting, open meeting things go, if you tell me to email around any information I get on speakers, I guess that would be legal, wouldn't it?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I think it's fine as long as we don't reply all and like have a discussion on email.
Right.
I'll just supply information.
Yeah.
I'll get to work on that.
Maybe we can tie this in a little bit more. Obviously, we know that,
Your sound is going out again.
Yeah. What'd you say, Dan?
sorry, I say that, maybe I need to restart my computer. Is it too far, I mean, how could we tie it in with, you know, farming in general? I just was saying that,
Yeah.
you know, we need our crops pollinated, so that's the definite connection, but do we want to have either another topic also, or a way to just tie it in a little bit more with you know, growing vegetables, or?
But could we have a farmer speak too, maybe? Are you volunteering, Dan?
Yeah, I guess I would.
I definitely think the cover crop angle,
Hmm.
with the buckwheat and, you know, cow, we don't really grow cowpeas around here as a cover crop, but those kind of things, as Phacelia is another one that some people grow.
And mustard.
Mustard, right? Yeah, to promote pollinators and just beneficial insects in general. So maybe we should go beneficial insects in general, not just pollinators.
Yeah.
But maybe we shouldn't.
Of course, the pollinator business in Concord started out as honeybees, and now it's broadened from that to other pollinators, of which there are many.
Right.
Well, so maybe we're leaving this right now with, we just need to do more brainstorming. Come back with maybe some speaker suggestions, see where COVID is in a month. Rethink about it. Does that sound like a good plan?
Well, perhaps we should also work on a little outline of if these people say, oh yeah, we're really, really interested and we'd like to do something with you, we would have a few points that they would say, oh yeah, that's where I want to be.
Do you want to do that, Happy?
Sure, why not?
Thanks, Happy. I think that's a good idea. Okay.
Timing, we're thinking like April and the tent at Barrel.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's a safer bet with COVID in terms of trying to do it indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just gotta hope for good weather.
Yeah. I mean, if we aim for end of April, we're probably doing all right. It's usually not freezing by then, usually.
Are people having trouble with their Zoom? Mine just cut out and I just came back on. And a lot of
No, mine's actually pretty good tonight, except for Steve being frozen.
Yes.
What are you looking at, Steve?
I haven't figured it out there, but I have a real stiff neck.
I mean, your voice, Steve, your voice is crystal clear. It's just
I
like,
know.
And it says I'm on video, so I don't know what.
well, should we move on from the spring forum for a minute and the video project? Everybody's all right with that? So the video project, oh, Emily's back on. Oh, good. I did talk to Aaron Stevens, who then reconnected me to Minuteman. So they have a new producer there who I talked to named Tori, who was wonderful. She's from Chelmsford. She has is a big gardener. She's worked with Mill City Grows a little bit up in Lowell. Oh, Steve, you're back. Look at that.
Yeah, I'm back.
Back to life.
I rebooted the video.
Oh, there we go. So I had a wonderful conversation with Tori. Tori is very excited to take on not only this video project, but maybe expand the video project into multiple videos if we are interested. So this also may turn into a bigger thing than we originally thought, but that might be nice. And then maybe if COVID rages, it could even replace the spring forum idea a little bit. Her idea was not just to do a sort of, not just do a similar one to last year, except do it in the fall, had been sort of my original, when I came to them, that was my original thought, was like, oh, we did this video last year. It was focused on spring. We want to focus on fall leading up to Ag Day. And she was like, that sounds great. But what if we did a smaller video every month that's like a 2 to 3 minute video that focuses on one farm in town doing a particular task of that time of the season. And so we produced a bunch of these that came out every single month leading up to Ag Day. And then we take that footage and make a little compilation footage before Ag Day, promoting Ag Day. I liked this idea. I don't know how you all feel about this idea. It does sound like more work.
Well, in a way, it sounds like less work if she's willing to do it.
Yes.
Children.
Very excited.
Would we have to provide as much, like Emily did so much work with like going to each thing, like writing stuff for it and narrating, but would she be
Sounds
doing
more
that?
like her concept was, yeah, her idea that she sort of was coming up with on the fly while we were talking was that she would go to a farm, let's say starting even next month, let's say, and they would like maybe talk about some winter tasks they were doing, whether that was apple pruning or it was seed ordering or even like mundane things like just planning, talk to them about their planning, do an interview with the farmer or multiple farmers on the farm, take a lot of footage and then just put it together in a much smaller video that was more focused on the task and introducing that farm. And then do like the next month, maybe, I don't know, April or let's say March is the next month, and like starting in the greenhouse, talking about seeding in the greenhouse with that particular farm, also get some farm footage. And then maybe April, like the first plow or something like that, or bees, if we could get, salt boxes, bees timed correctly. So really picking an activity that was happening at that time of the year, as well as an introduction to the farm. And then when she made the video sort of more leading up to Ag Day, that might be a slightly more scripted narrative video, but she'd have all this footage and all these interviews to pull from. So it might be easier to make a compilation video.
Boy, it sounds, I want to watch them. I'll show up every month for these.
Yeah, she was interested because I think they're looking to produce more content at Minuteman. And so she was thinking this could be really great. We could have a little playlist that's like the farms of Concord, has a little introduction to each one, and then other videos that are more like focused on Ag Day. But it sounded like they could do more of the producing work than they had previously been able to do. That was my impression. Whether or not that's reality, we'll see. But she was very enthusiastic. She has had a fair amount of experience. So she's not, this isn't like her first job. She's done this before. They're also having someone else join them too. She just got hired recently and there's somebody else joining the team in the next couple of weeks too. So they're gonna have 3 producers on staff as opposed to just one, I think they had before.
We should probably
minutes.
get a foot in the, we
ahead.
should probably get a foot in the door before the schedule is full.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would, if people
Very
like
good.
this idea, I think this sounded great to me.
All right. All right.
I think the work will be, as Emily probably knows, like lining up everybody's sort of schedules and trying to organize this a little bit on like what farms would be best to fit what tasks, and everybody's okay with that being their task. You know, what they're being shown for. I mean, I think we could definitely like come if somebody's like, no, I don't want to do seed ordering, but that's sort of what I got, you know, we can do seed ordering, and then she can come back and take more footage when like stuff's happening and make like, you know, and have that more promote in the leading up to Ag Day video or something. Just to make things like more equitable. If you're like, wow, my farm is all closed up right now, that's not very exciting. So what do people think?
Sounds good.
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
I think it sounds cool. I think that 2 to 3 minutes sound like is actually shorter than it sounds.
It's
Like
she was thinking small. I think 2 to 3 minutes is really small. I mean,
Yeah.
3 to 4, 5 minutes, but I think it also kind of depends on what they're showing. Like it's,
Yeah.
you know, you may vary a lot in I don't know, what.
I'm just thinking like if she wants an introduction to each farm and each thing, like the introduction could be 2 or 3 minutes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like it could work. I just,
Yeah.
that would just be my one question would be like, is that maybe too short?
Uh-huh.
These would be
She
kind of
might
short
find
little-
she might find she couldn't possibly do it in less than 6.
Yeah, that also might happen.
I think in the video we did last spring, each farm had about 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay.
I think that's how it worked out,
So that might be more realistic.
which made for about a between 15 and 20 minute in its entirety.
Right.
But for 6 minutes, I think it becomes a little more scripted, or maybe, but if it's shorter, I would think the farmer would really be able to kind of answer the question, what am I doing? And what's the significance of it?
Well, and I think that leads into partially what she was asking too, was what do we want out of these videos? You know, yes, we want to promote Concord agriculture, but are there specific themes or questions that should be present in every video if we go forward with this?
Well, the seasonal hook is a very reliable one, and to start in February, I think is terrific, because stuff's already happening, and that may not be widely known or appreciated. And going through December.
Yeah.
Same thing on the other end.
It might be a little bit difficult since almost every farm is a different size. So maybe, especially on the early videos, that you visited like 3 or 4 farms that do it all differently. Like Chris at Brigham Farm does it totally different than Dan at Walden. And we do it differently than Steve does.
Yeah.
But you would have a scope of how does it happen, and how do I fit in if I want to go buy plants or buy seeds or whatever. So I think on the topic, it might be more poignant to just have to put some pieces together, and others you can go and say, this is how we do corn, this is how we do squash. And that's how everybody's going to do it pretty much.
Yeah, I think I think that's a good point. And I think for for ease of production, they were thinking about one farm for one topic because they could go to one place and film it all and not have to schedule with multiple farms.
Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah. But that's a good point, is that like, yes, you can't present something as like, this is how all farms do it, because that's not true.
I think if we had it, each thing was about an intro to the farm and like what you happen to be doing, then it will seem a little bit less like assuming that is how everybody does it, because it'll be like the thing about that farm and then you just happen to be doing that project.
Yeah.
You know?
I kind of like the idea of like, they just, well, we stumbled over here and we're introducing this farm, and this is what they happen to be doing that day.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Whether or not it was planned or not.
We often forget, so it seems unplanned. Like,
What were we doing?
or like we forget that the people are coming to film or record. So it is impromptu at the time, even though we had agreed to it.
I know from the last video, we had a list of everybody who was interested in participating.
Mhm.
Does anybody still have that list? I could probably find it somewhere.
I think I
when
might
get
have it.
access to the Zoom, I'll be doing the minutes, and I mean when I do my thing for last week, I'll find that and let you know.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Better.
Yeah, if you have trouble, Dan, I think I probably have it from doing the minutes.
Oh, okay, great.
'Cause it was a while ago.
Would that be
Maybe
easier?
maybe you can send me the information on the guy who actually is supposed to post the minutes. Maybe I can get a copy of it from him before it goes live, because I couldn't even find last week's minutes, the ones that were up before, from the last meeting that I had done minutes on. I mean, I couldn't find the Zoom on that online. I don't know what.
Oh, the Zoom from October is up. I found that one, but they
Oh, okay,
didn't post December yet.
right. Oh, right. Okay.
So do we need to vote if we are going forward with this idea? People seem positive. People are smiling at me.
Yeah. I'm pro.
Should we take a vote? Is this the thing we need to vote on?
I vote that we do exactly what Liza said. Anybody second it?
My question partially about this is going to involve a coordinator again. I don't mind doing part of this coordination. I am worried about, as we get further into the season, that I will not be able to be as helpful as we get further along here. Is there somebody who would like to jointly do this with me?
Are you?
Steve, are you waving at me?
Yeah.
I'll pitch in.
All right.
And
It looks like Joe would like to raise his hand, but his
Joe?
hands are.
I will help if I can.
Thank you, Joe.
I can be recruited to most anything.
Good. All right. So yeah. Do we need to vote on this? Somebody tell me the rules, because I don't remember how this goes. Do we need to?
It wouldn't hurt.
Okay, thank you, Emily. Let's take a vote. I move we go forward with the video project.
I second it.
Second,
Here,
All right,
aye, aye.
so we're good. Thank you, guys.
A minor thing about videos that I just remembered thinking of last year. Do you remember that Ricky Marshall had a drone and he filmed the event? And
Yes.
could that be relevant to something, or should?
Yes, Joe, and that actually brings me up a good point, is that Minuteman Media also has a drone now, and this woman Tori knows how to use it. So they would like to take drone footage of everybody's farm.
Oh,
Great.
So
Fabulous.
I forgot about that piece. So that would be fun too. Great. So I think if we can just find the list of farms we had before, I can reach back out to them and we can start getting a little bit organized on this. And I will talk to Tori tomorrow and let her know that it was met with enthusiasm, her idea.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, Liza, because I can find it or
Great.
recreate it.
Thank you. All right. Ag Day update. Ready for that? The Ag Day update is really, really short. We're on the police's calendar, but the town manager has not signed off on it yet. That's
Well, there's an interim town manager now, so.
Steve, leave.
Oh,
Oh, thanks. We wanted to look at your Christmas tree.
I thought we looked kind of bland here after saying happy.
So that's our Ag Day update right now. I don't know, beyond that, waiting for the town manager to sign off on it or wherever they are. I know Chris is pretty overwhelmed with Jeremy gone, so I'm also trying to give him a lot of slack. But I think we're pretty good other than that. The police are totally on board and we're on their calendar, so I feel like we're 95% there.
What was
Way
the
ahead of schedule.
What was the situation with the
Right for
library?
you.
They're going to see if they can maybe coordinate, but they didn't know the last time you talked to them, right?
The library, yeah, they weren't gonna decide until this winter whether or not they were moving the book day back to the spring or if they were gonna keep it in the fall. So I'll do that. I'm just gonna reach back out to them and let them know what date we decided and if they could plan around us or not. The other person I thought we probably should reach back out to is the garden club. I have one contact with them, but I'm actually not sure. I don't know if it's or not. Does anybody have a good contact with the garden club? I can talk to the person I talked to before, but
Please,
Nobody-
didn't you track somebody down last year?
No, I was unsuccessful.
Oh,
I think Amy was who I tried to contact about the bookstore window, but
Yeah.
never heard
Right.
back. But I did hear from someone, but I can't remember who it was about just
I
in
had-
general their participation.
yeah, I had
Yeah,
talked to somebody like
I
two
had
days
some-
ago. Sorry, Emily, what?
I did talk with somebody or exchanged emails with somebody, and I think she might have been the president at the time. Sounds as if it shifts over, but I could definitely look and see if I can find the email thread and send it to you so that you have somebody to start with.
That'd be great, Emily. I had one person I had contact with when they were like bowing out, but I wasn't entirely sure if she was where she was in their chain of command. That's all. So I didn't want to
Right.
skip over somebody if there was somebody who I should definitely be contacting. But I can email them. But yeah, if you want to send me that email that you had, then I can contact both of them, or maybe it's the same person. So.
Right.
So garden club and okay. I think that's it.
This is like ahead for them maybe because it would be the beginning of their year, but we had talked about maybe getting more like teenage volunteers and I wasn't sure if we should try the Minuteman group first.
Oh yeah.
I know. Happy, did you say you also had a project during the year to maybe help with the ramp? You guys need help or no?
Active thing right now.
What?
It's not an active thing right now.
Okay, got it. I just wasn't sure if we should ask early because it's just awkward that it's in early September, so it's like the beginning of their school year.
Right.
See if
Yeah, maybe like late spring we should start thinking
Yeah,
about?
probably not yet.
Yeah,
yeah.
probably a little early, but
Yeah.
yeah, right before they all leave for summer break.
Right,
Try to
right.
get on their radar.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Because we definitely need more volunteers.
Yeah.
All right. Does anybody have any other business we should talk about? Public comment.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. We were targeting the next meeting maybe for February 17th so that Melissa will be here since she is going on vacation before then.
Sounds good.
Good with everybody?
Yep.
If I pass my COVID test on the way back, I'll be here.
If not, we expect you to join by Zoom.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
that's true. That's true. Okay, I'll be here either way.
Are you going somewhere?
Where are you headed?
I am going to Costa Rica.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yes. Can't wait.
Yeah, you look really excited.
I know,
right
I'm
now.
not excited right now, but I am excited.
You're all
Yeah.
anxious.
Way you say it, and what it seems like you might just decide to stay.
Yeah. My boyfriend is not at all concerned about getting back. Very hard to get any help with contingency plans for making it home. Only making it there.
He would like to get stuck in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
I would too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. So February 17th it is. And yeah, sounds good, everybody?
Yep.
We'll see you all then. Meeting adjourned.
All right.
Yay.
Thanks, Liza.
Bye.
Guys,
All right.
Good to see
Bye.
you.
All right.
see you all.
Bye.